So this is a video about using a tea kettle or a watering can or any type of vessel with a spout and turning it into a tree fountain. So this is what I did. If you see from my previous videos, you might see this giant galvanized piece made with a 2x4 on it. That was a separate project, and I abandoned that to try this singular portion. So imagine that giant piece not there. Imagine just making a little tiny piece to hold the tea kettle, or in this case it's a watering can from Ikea, and putting into a discount clearance Home Depot flower bin. It's just a plastic resin flower pot. Put a pump inside there, ran that tubing up, put it in the back, and use a ball valve. So I'll show you that. Some 5/8 or 3/8 hose, whatever you'd like, and then drill the hole up through there. What's interesting before I show you the details is that you can control it with that outlet right there. It has a Wi-Fi timer, a smart timer, and you can pair with Google. You can press a button on your phone. So let's say, hey Google, turn off tree fountain.
All right, turning tree fountain off.
Okay. You can press a button or you can tell it again. Hey Google, turn on tree fountain.
Sure, turning tree fountain on.
And why do you need this? You don't. But what's convenient is you don't have to go out here and there and switch it, especially if you're on vacation or something and you forget that this timer's going, because I have it set up to come on every day for a certain amount, turn off at another amount at a different time. So it's definitely not necessary, but convenient, especially if you go on vacation and you forget to turn this thing off. So now I'll show you a little bit about how it runs. This is the plumbing and the electrical. So all I did was drill a hole in the bottom of the can, the handle, run a toggle bolt out. Any bolt will do. Just try not to get it huge where you don't have a drill bit for it. Center it where you want. I wanted it off center from the water line, but you could have hung it up here further, but you have to judge that. And then inside is the tubing. And there's the tubing. And then what I did was put a couple screws right there that will let the can sit flush with it. They're just metal screws. Hey Google, turn off tree fountain.
All right, turning off tree fountain.
So simply just a couple more screws, because what it has a tendency to do is this part wants to lift out. So it's more or less sitting on the lip. So here's a supply. And then the valve in the back that you can adjust to be any setting you want. Just play with that. And just loop the extra hose behind it. Just set it here. Again, this was a redo from another project, so that's why there's extra hose. And if you do this correctly, you probably use some elbows. Hit the button again. Turn it on. The piece of galvanized sheet metal, if you watch my other video, that's just a Home Depot sheet inside the HVAC section. It's like to make your own plenums and things. So get that, and if you want, or just use some scrap wood, anything to hide the plumbing coming up. So whatever you have laying around, wood, metal, conduit of some type, even whatever you'd like. And then the bin. And about once a month I turn this thing over and I spray it out. You could put some, I don't know, algae material in there, the stuff that keeps algae from forming. But cheap and easy. That watering can, like I said, maybe like $7. The pump at Home Depot, get one that goes up high enough, so know to your height that you're going. And you can always go extra and then use the valve to turn it down. I would rather have that than have a weak pump that I was limited to just a foot. And then, have it run, see what you like about it. Yeah, of course, if you make it go higher, the angle's going to be further, and you're going to have more of a throw of the water. What's nice about also the watering can, unlike my other homemade little things, is that it's a spout, so you get that more laminar flow than the turbulent flow that you normally, what I was getting. So what's difficult is when the wind blows, the water wants to just shoot across with that turbulent flow, and it's because it's coming out like a spray, especially after you go. This is like a 3-foot drop, so if you can have it in a tighter column like this, that keeps that water together and prevents that wind from pushing it, because what will happen is you push all that water out into your bushes, then there's nothing for the pump to suck up and the pump goes dry. Another benefit is of having the Wi-Fi timer. If something like that happens, or the Wi-Fi switch, you can immediately turn that off and not have to run out here or whatever. But that's a side benefit. It's just, which turned out to be a good primary benefit. I think having a shape that makes this laminar, it prevents splashes down here, so that screen is less necessary, that I made out of old window screen and some PEX coiled in a tube. That's in the other video. So I'd say that's the benefit. So now I like this. Also, it prevents having just a small opening right there. Prevents what I used to have in that other video, which was a bunch of, it was a flat top, almost, it was like clear shoe boxes or flower pots. All that stuff falls in there. So I had to build screens to keep this stuff from falling in the catches. Well, now this watering can is pretty closed, except for that one little opening right there. So it's another benefit when you think about putting something outside, is all the things that are going to fall into it. And I was thinking this, but initially I wasn't focusing on this, and this is seeming to be a good solution for now. So hope that helps. Hope you enjoy it.